Hey everybody, it's Emily and this is Emmylou Arts, and I'm glad you're here today because I am going to give you a flip through of my last A6 journal. It's a scrapbook, junk journal, smash book. It's a little bit of everything. So come along and I will show you. Okay guys, so I did a video in which I decorated the cover, and I showed you guys that. I used a bunch of different scrapbook papers. This traveler's notebook came, or this insert came with my Carpe Diem planner, traveler's notebook, and I just hacked off the bottom and made it more of an A6 size, which is kind of like 4x6. Because I just thought it would be a fun size to play with. So I used stamps, scrapbook paper, washi tape, and I wrote volume 7. So that's basically what I did with this. This was the first spread that I did. You can see that I really like to use collage pieces from magazines. I love Flow magazine, Breathe magazine, stamps, washi tape from Michaels. This was the, is it Jane Davenport line? I think so. That's really popular. And then I like to stick other stuff in there too. Like this was a bracelet that my daughter gave me, and I just thought it was super cute. So I stuck that in here. I love to have things hanging out and hanging off the sides, and just makes it look interesting, and it makes you want to dive in and see what's in there. And I love using quotes from those magazines as well. So here's more washi tape, and this is just journaling. And I love my tip-ins, so I use my sprocket a ton. I also like to staple in pieces of fabric and little paper tags. This is just another tip-in. I like to save sometimes if the things that come with things that I buy for my kids, like this was part of the labels for their Halloween costume. And so I saved those and I made tip-ins out of those. And I also used to really like the Tim Holtz like saying stickers. I think they're Tim Holtz. And then these die cuts are from an ephemera pack that might be Tim Holtz too. I can't remember. This picture is from a book of fables that I got at Dollar Tree. This is more ephemera stuff, cutouts from magazines, quotes from a book. This is just kind of a spread that reminded me of just fall things. Journaling, washi tape. This was, my daughter lost her first tooth, and I like to cut out words and pictures, and I started doing more watercoloring in here, which I really like. And this is a little pocket, and then this is just I put this in to journal on, and it's just it's how she tells a story, and it reminds me of her. So all of these things that may seem meaningless, but to me it reminds me of her. So that's how I like to journal. And then this is one of those paper envelope things, and a paper clip that I made in an earlier video. Watercolor. This is from a book of mindfulness quotes that I got at Barnes & Noble on the 75% off table, and I like to flip through it and use them sometimes in my journaling spreads. the cover's ripped off and my daughter drew on it, but it's just full of different kind of mindfulness quotes, and I like to flip through it, and it just inspires me, and I like to put them in my journal if I find one that I really particularly like. This was journaling, and I used my sprocket to take pictures of the yarn that I bought to knit a really cute scarf that I'm still working on. And this was just a couple pieces of the scarf. It's a Noro wool, a ball of Noro wool, and it's humongous, but it's a bunch of different colors, and it's so pretty, and I'm so excited to have it done. This is a kind of fallish spread. It's a bunch of magazine pictures, and I took a picture of this beautiful red leaf that I saw in the grass at my mom and dad's house. It was when the leaves were just starting to get really pretty, and this one was so bright red. It was beautiful. And a quote, and some more of those phrase stickers, and some journaling. I really like this spread. It was sort of like art journaling for me, but it just reminds me of my grandmother who passed away last November. So I really like in my journals to do things that remind me of my kids, like sayings and just funny things that they do and say that I don't want to forget. And so this is just something that she said to me. And this was school stuff for my kids and stuff we did for my work. And then this was from a newspaper, this picture, and I just thought it was the cutest darn picture. So I cut it out and put it in my journal. And this was journaling, ephemera, magazine picture. I really loved this photo. That was from that mindfulness book. We spent all day last Saturday out in the yard doing yard work, and it was beautiful. It was a perfect fall day, and I just loved that picture. And then that night we were playing games, so that's a picture of us playing a game at the kitchen table. And this is words from that Fable book. This is a picture from Flow magazine, and there's journaling, and then another picture of a magazine, and then this is just another mindfulness quote, and this is a piece of fabric. I have this box of fabric scraps that my mom gave me from quilts that she's worked on, and so that's what a lot of this fabric is. So I like to stick those in my journals, staple them in, glue them in, make them hang off. I just love that. So that's what I did with this. And this little black scrap here is left over from a tote bag that I sewed like 2 years ago. I carried that tote bag for probably a full year, and I loved it. And then the strap started to rip off, so I should make a new one, but I really loved the fabric. And then this is another mindfulness quote, and these butterflies were from that ephemera pack, and this is from magazine. This was magazine. This this is me. I did this, but I was doing color swatches of these Bria Reese dual tip markers, which I've had for a while, and I really do not recommend these markers. I don't like them at all. They were pretty cheap at Hobby Lobby, but I was just seeing what a few of the different colors looked like, and I got this. I was watching James Burke Creative on YouTube. I'll link his channel down below. He is phenomenal. I absolutely love him, and I love his creations and his style. He is a hoot, and I just love him. So this, I was inspired to try this from him because he does different, he swatches his markers and watercolors and stuff like that in a different way. He doesn't just like swatch them and then write the color next to it. He likes to work it into an art piece. So I was kind of inspired to do that same thing. And then this is just watercolor and it doesn't match at all. And then these two women, if you, I don't draw faces, and you can see why, because they look extremely scary. These were supposed to be like fun, sort of cartoonish faces, and they are. To me, they're like sisters, twins, kind of like they remind me of the stepsisters in Cinderella. Like they just look mean and ridiculous, kind of like the stepsisters in Cinderella. So that's kind of what they remind me of. But in a way, I also just love them. Like they're just so ridiculous looking. But this was also inspired by James Burke. He did a little tutorial about how to make like faces that are just kind of cartoony, or not really even cartoony, just sort of whimsical. And that's what this came from. He is obviously, if you watch his channel, an amazing artist. This is doing him no favors by saying that I got this from him, because he is amazing. But I just like to play. I like to play in my journals, and even though this looks incredibly crazy, it makes me smile. And I used this wooden stamp that says yay, because they're so ridiculous looking and they look so like solemn and mean that I just had to use this yay stamp. Don't ask me why. I'm strange, guys. I'm a strange one. A strange cat. So, and then I just ended it with a quote and the last day that I journaled in this journal. And then this was just a little tab that I made with a sticker. And then there's the back cover with this cute little house on it. And that is the fun that I had in my A6 journal. I just had a ball playing in it, and you know what? It didn't last very long, which was perfect for me because I love, you know, switching it up. I love going through journals and decorating new covers and just watching them fill up with pieces and bits and papers and fabric. So I don't mind that it went fast. It was a pleasure to me, an absolute joy. And now if you watched me the other day, you'll see that I am now going to start to work in this, which is a traveler's notebook that I repurposed. This was a standard size that I lopped off an inch and turned it into a B6 Slim. And then I made this notebook insert out of this paper. It is mixed media paper. It's the Canson mixed media paper. And I have art journaled in this notebook quite a bit, but the pages are perforated, and so I don't know as if they're going to stay very well. I think my daughter helped me with that. I was just playing. So I ripped a bunch of pages on the perforation and just decided to use them in my next journal because I've been getting into watercoloring in it more and painting. So I thought, hey, why not use that paper that's just been sitting in that book unused? And then I just covered it with a piece of scrapbook paper, and I still need to decorate the cover. I have some fun ideas for that. So that is what I will be doing in the coming month, is working in this. So I am so glad you guys were here today, somehow stumbled upon my channel and got to see me flip through my little A6 journal. If you like art journaling and planning and just having a chat, then subscribe and like this video and leave me a comment and introduce yourself and tell me how you like to journal and plan. So I will see you guys soon. I will talk to you later. Thanks. Bye.